Hello and welcome back to Movies Recap Repo, your go-to channel for the most intriguing movie summaries on the web. Today, we're diving into a mind-bending sci-fi thriller that puts human nature under a microscope. Imagine waking up in a pitch-black room, not knowing how you got there or who the people standing next to you are. This is the terrifying reality for 50 strangers who find themselves arranged in two concentric circles on a mysterious platform. They stand on small red circles, paralyzed, unable to move or speak to each other. In the center of the room, a strange black dome hums with an ominous energy. Panic begins to set in as they exchange bewildered glances. Suddenly, a piercing sound fills the air, and a beam of light shoots out from the central device, striking one of the individuals. He collapses, lifeless. The group watches in horror, their silent screams trapped within their minds. Before they can process what just happened, another person tries to step off their circle, only to be zapped by the same deadly beam. It becomes terrifyingly clear that stepping off their designated spot means instant death. Every 2 minutes, the dreadful cycle repeats. The sound, the beam, and another life extinguished. The randomness of the executions fuels their terror. There seems to be no pattern, no reason for who is chosen next. A young woman, seeing a pregnant woman in the circle, tries to protect her by stepping in front of her. But the beam simply passes through her and strikes its intended target, a man standing further away. This act of attempted sacrifice reveals something crucial. Through a collective, unspoken process of pointing and gesturing, they begin to understand that they can control the target. They are voting. Using subtle hand movements, they can select who will be the next victim. The realization dawns on them, this isn't random. They are the executioners. The power to choose who lives and who dies shifts the dynamic entirely. The silent, terrified group must now engage in a horrifying game of survival, where morality and self-preservation collide. The first conscious vote is cast against an older man. Gestures are made, heads nod in grim agreement, and he is eliminated. The room falls into a heavy silence, the weight of their decision pressing down on them. They've just crossed a line from being victims to being participants in a systematic execution. The next target is another elderly individual. A young man argues fiercely with his gestures, trying to defend her, but the majority has already decided. The cold logic of survival has taken hold, sacrifice the old to save the young. A pattern begins to emerge, a brutal calculus of worth. One man, seemingly calm and collected, starts to take charge. Through his confident gestures, he directs the group's votes. He points to a woman with a bruised face, implying she might be a domestic abuse victim and thus weaker. The group, desperate for a leader, follows his lead. But his control is quickly challenged when others realize the cruelty of his logic. A conflict erupts, fought not with words, but with pointed fingers and desperate glares. They begin to vote based on perceived character flaws, prejudices, and snap judgments. A man with tattoos is targeted, then a woman they suspect of being unfaithful. Each vote becomes a dark reflection of their own biases. They are judging each other based on superficial traits, desperately trying to justify their choices. The group starts to form factions. One side argues for a more fair system, suggesting a lottery or taking turns. Another side, led by the pragmatic man, insists on a strategic approach, eliminating those they deem less valuable to society or less likely to have dependents. He argues that they must make hard choices to ensure the best people survive. This debate plays out in a terrifyingly efficient manner. A man who suggests they all sacrifice themselves for the pregnant woman and a young child in the group is quickly voted out. His idealism is seen as a threat to the survival of the majority. The room has become a microcosm of society, with its power struggles, alliances, and deep-seated prejudices laid bare. As the number of survivors dwindles, the decisions become even more agonizing. The pragmatic leader proposes an alliance. He and another man will protect each other, voting together to eliminate others. This strategy works for a while, as they systematically pick off those who are isolated or disagree with them. They form a powerful voting bloc that is difficult to overcome. However, their alliance is built on a foundation of pure self-interest. When a vote ends in a tie between one of the alliance members and an outsider, the system reveals another rule. In the case of a tie, the next person to be eliminated is chosen randomly. The cold, impartial machine reasserts its control, reminding them that their fragile alliances mean nothing in the end. The psychological toll is immense. A husband and wife are in the circle together. When the wife is targeted, the husband shields her with his body, only for them both to be eliminated. Their love becomes a liability in this cruel game. Their sacrifice, however, changes the atmosphere in the room. Some begin to question the ruthless strategy they've been following. A new idea emerges: what if they refuse to vote? One person bravely stands still, refusing to point at anyone. The others watch, and for a moment, it seems like a rebellion might be possible. But the 2-minute timer continues its relentless countdown. When no one is chosen, the system defaults to its random selection. The rebellion fails, and another person dies, proving that non-participation is not an option. The group realizes they are trapped. They must vote, or the machine will choose for them. The focus then shifts to the pregnant woman and the little girl. A consensus forms that they must be protected at all costs. They represent innocence in the future, a symbol of hope in this dark, hopeless place. Even the most hardened individuals seem to agree on this one point. As the circle shrinks, the personal connections become more apparent. A quiet man reveals through gestures that he is a cancer survivor. Another indicates he has a family waiting for him. These small glimpses into their lives make the voting process even more unbearable. They are not just anonymous strangers anymore, they are people with stories, with loved ones, with a reason to live. The pragmatic leader continues to push his agenda, arguing that sentimentality will get them all killed. He targets a lesbian woman, trying to sway the group with homophobic undertones. But the group pushes back. A young man, who had been quiet until now, stands up to him, defending her and exposing the leader's bigotry. For the first time, the leader's authority is truly shaken. The young man, Eric, becomes a new focal point. He advocates for compassion and fairness, suggesting that they stop judging each other and instead try to find a way to save everyone. He proposes a plan where everyone agrees to a tie, forcing the system to randomly select, thus making it a game of chance rather than a brutal judgment. This idea appeals to the exhausted and guilt-ridden survivors. With only a handful of people left, including Eric, the little girl, the pragmatic man, and a few others, the final stage of the game begins. They agree to Eric's plan, all voting for the person next to them to create a massive tie. But the pragmatic leader has one last trick up his sleeve. At the last second, he and the person he's protecting change their vote, targeting Eric. Betrayed, Eric is eliminated. The pragmatic man has once again manipulated the group for his own survival. Now, only he, the little girl, and the pregnant woman remain. It seems that his ruthless strategy has paid off. He believes he has won, as he assumes the system will spare the child and the unborn baby. The timer starts for the final vote. He confidently votes for the pregnant woman, assuming she will vote for him, creating a tie that would presumably save the child. But Eric had a plan of his own. Before he was eliminated, he had communicated a final, desperate strategy to the pregnant woman. She understands that in this game, there can only be one survivor. She casts her vote not for the man, but for the little girl. The man, realizing his fatal miscalculation, also switches his vote to the little girl at the last second. He assumes the pregnant woman will be eliminated, and he will win. But he forgot a crucial detail: the pregnant woman is carrying a child. That's 2 lives. The beam strikes the little girl. Then it strikes the man. The pregnant woman is the last one standing. Her vote, combined with the man's, was enough to eliminate the girl, but her own unborn child counted as a life, giving her the final, winning vote. She collapses, the sole survivor of the horrific ordeal. She wakes up on the ground, outside, under a gray sky. Dazed and confused, she gets to her feet and looks around. In the distance, she sees other people, all dressed in the same clothes, walking towards a massive, strange craft in the sky. She realizes she wasn't the only one. There were other circles, other games, and other survivors. As she joins the silent procession of winners, she looks up at the alien ship, the architect of this nightmare. The film ends here, leaving us to ponder the chilling implications. Was this a test? An experiment? Or just a cruel form of entertainment for a superior species? The true purpose is never revealed, but one thing is certain: humanity was put on trial, and the verdict is terrifyingly ambiguous. Thanks for watching this recap on Movies Recap Repo. What would you have done in the circle? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more recaps of the most thought-provoking films out there. We'll see you in the next video.